Whenever you're ready, Latonya, to begin.
So we want to get started. Should we get started now?
Yeah.
Well, welcome everyone to our Jobs for Vets career kickoff. I'm Latonya. I'm one of the employment specialists here at Source of Plowshares, San Francisco. Today we will we'll be talking about the services that we offer and some of the trainings that we have available here at Source of Plowshares for our veterans that are looking for employment. So we'll be talking about our program and services, the upcoming opportunities and events, and then we do have a guest speaker from One Treasure Island, which is the construction training program that we have in place for veterans. Okay, so what we do here at Source of Plowshares, we help many veterans in the Bay Area meaning San Francisco, Contra Costa County, the Oakland Bay Area, the East Bay, South Bay, so we're trying to assist all veterans that are in need of employment and training services. And what we do is once you submit interest in our program, you're then paired with an employment specialist for a one-on-one experience. And with that, we help you to get connected with our network of employers. We have over 100 plus, and we also help you to overcome some of the employment and barriers that you may be facing. We also can sponsor short-term certificate-based trainings to help elevate your skills and opportunities for career growth, especially for those that are looking for a particular type of career path that you're going for. Go to the next slide. So now the key is to be fully prepared. And so that's what we're here to assist you with, being fully prepared to take the next step into employment or into training. So during your meetings with your employment specialist, we will work on your resume, cover letters. We will do mock interviews to prepare you for your interviews to, try to get some of the edge off and give you some of the best possible, help you tailor your answers to interview questions that employers may be asking. We do professional headshots for your LinkedIn profiles and things like that, but due to COVID-19, those things have been postponed. And then we also will help you, we will help provide interview clothing, transportation, tools if necessary while you're in the search for your interview process. But we also offer wraparound services for veterans as well, those that may be homeless and needing shelter. We have our housing department that will also assist veterans with shelter. So even if you yourself don't need those services, you can also refer a veteran friend that you may have that may be down on their luck, needing a place to stay and things of that nature. You can send them over to us and we can provide those services for you. And then we also provide supportive services such as gift cards for food, just to help you out until you can get on your feet. So those are a lot of the things that we provide here at Source of Plowshares. So now I will be turning it over to Ms. Shantae, and she will talk about some of the training opportunities that we have here at Source of Plowshares.
Hello, everyone. My name is Shantae Young. I'm an employment specialist over at the Oakland office. I'm going to talk about some of the training opportunities that we do offer with sports. The first one is the Power Pathway training. This one is through PG&E. It is a training that you'll go through with PG&E that will help you with resume writing. They'll help you with different workshops. They help you with registering on how to apply with different jobs with PG&E. Once you do complete the training with the Power Pathways, it is a good opportunity because you are able to get put into a hiring hall with PG&E. And so that way you're placed more at the top of the list with being able to gain employment with PG&E. I actually have a client of my own that completed the Power Pathway training and actually that was only barely a month ago, I would say, and he is taking his drug test today and going through his background right now. And if everything is clear, he'll be starting with PG&E on December 14th. So it was very, very fast. He did everything he was supposed to do, took the test, and they do help you with all of that and make sure that you are successful with completing the training course with the Power Pathways. It is about a week and a half training. And right now, I believe since it is, COVID going on, you would only come in basically to the office once to get some paperwork, and then the class is done virtual. So you would just log in on Zoom and complete the training that way. Let's see. Else. Let's see. And then we also have our 1TI program. And our 1TI program is a construction program. It is for free construction training. And you do get a certificate once you complete the program. They put you through different certifications that's offered. You can get a Class B permit. There's first aid trainings. There's different hazmats, fire protections. They are having trainings right now for plumbers, laborers, mechanical, electrical, operating engineers, different opportunities that you can gain with the construction program. I'm training, and he did complete the training and was actually offered employment right away once he completed the training. So this one also is a very good program for our veterans with gaining certificates and complete successful. Let's see. With both trainings, you do want to, come in and make sure, that it is something that you're going to want to do and make sure that you complete the paperwork and you do qualify. There is a pre-screening orientation, and all the training also has been moved online due to COVID. So if you have any other questions with the trainings, you can reach out to, for 1TI, his name is Johnny. And his name is Johnny Carter, Annette Simmons. Is who you'll be able to reach out to for further information on the 1TI training, which is for the construction.
So at this time, I am going to introduce Johnny Carter and Annette Simmons, who will be giving you an overview of the One Treasure Island construction program that we are offering in conjunction with.
Fabulous. I want to say thank you. Thank you for that lead in, Shantae, and certainly thank you to everybody for putting this on and giving us an opportunity to talk a little bit more in depth about the program. If I may, I'm going to share my screen so that we can talk a little bit more in depth about this particular opportunity. Important to explain a little bit of the history and why we have a pre-apprenticeship program. that we currently have. One of the things that is happening here in Treasure Island, and frankly in San Francisco as a whole, is you see a lot of cranes, you see a lot of buildings, you see a lot of construction. And one of the partnerships that's very nice is the fact that Plowshare has a project on Treasure Island that provides housing vets. As part of that, they wanted to make sure that vets were part of the building process and were part of the construction team that contractors, subcontractors alike. That's kind of the natural genesis for our partnership. It was an excellent opportunity for us to partner and provide the types of pre-apprenticeship training that is going to be necessary for prime and subcontractors. This is just a list of some of our partners on the island. Rubicon for landscaping, United Site Services for Class B, and Eco Bay is an abatement organization that often hires some of our graduates around doing abatement work. But why construction, and why on Treasure Island? Currently, Treasure Island is in the midst of a development that will develop over 8,000 new residential units, approximately plus various income levels of affordable housing units to accommodate a growth of somewhere between 20 to 25,000 people. The current population on the island is about 2,000. So a lot of infrastructure is going to have to be put together in order for that type of growth to take place. Here's another view of it from on top. The development includes 500 hotel rooms, 550,000 square feet of restaurants, retail, office, commercial space, a new ferry terminal, a new marina, and up to 300 acres of parks and open space. A lot of what's currently out here, a lot of the current housing is going to be torn down. And this part about it is that Swords is one of the first entities that's going to be building its new housing for its veterans here on the island. So that's a pretty exciting piece to be a part of, and they're one of the first to break ground on their project compared to many of the other projects that are slated. But as you can see, a good chunk of the development is along the western and southern edges of the island. Here's another look. If you want to look at kind of what's going on Treasure Island, which is the flat part, and Yerba Buena Island is the part that you see the Bay Bridge go through, and there's also development there as well in terms of housing. One of the things that we also have to do as part of doing a pre-construction is we also have to have, for anybody who is interested, we do a physical test. It's a bit of an obstacle course. The physical test is part of their assessments that we do for folks coming in. It helps us demonstrate the ability and desire to perform and conduct construction activities for 8 hours a day. We utilize something that's a little bit pared down from what the Northern California Laborers Training Center does. We use the same three components that they use, but we do it in a little bit less intense than what the laborers do. The quality of the training, it emphasizes safety, skills, knowledge. All of this is to increase our graduates' marketability and placement of jobs. Goes into being, we have individuals that go into the electricians or go into the carpenters or various other types of trades within construction and the construction industry. And many of them work for companies that are signatory to a lot of those particular trades. Our physical test, one of the things that we do is we have 3 obstacles: lumber, cinder blocks, and a half yard of gravel. You're given 7 minutes to complete each obstacle. The stack of lumber is moving it approximately these long beams, probably about 15 to 20 feet, restacking them neatly and doing all of that within 7 minutes. The cinder blocks, same type of things. You take them off of one pallet, carry them, put them on the other pallet, and make sure that you keep the configurations the same. The last is a half yard of gravel. That is, you're going to fill a wheelbarrow full of gravel. You're going to take that wheelbarrow, push it to a point, dump that load, and come back. A half yard of gravel with a little bit over half full in a wheelbarrow, we're talking about 3, possibly 4 trips. A lot of the folks do. If you put less in, you can make more trips, but as long as it's within that 7 minutes. Ideal score is a 90. That's 30, giving you 30, 30, and 30 for each section. And anything over 7 minutes, we start deducting points. One of the things that we really try to emphasize is the physical test is not designed for us to knock you out of the program. It is designed to give you a fair idea of where your fitness level is in comparison to what's going to be the demands for that particular industry. So it's kind of important that we make sure to address those issues now, because we've had folks that we've worked with. They were able to, we've had some folks come in. One guy I worked with, he was a bit of a heavy smoker. I said, that's not going to work. If you want to get into construction because of the demands of the job, he worked on it, got to the gum, and from the gum went to someplace, but all while he was also building more of his stamina and his ability. And he was frankly able to pass the laborer's version of this test, which is more intense, on the first go, which was wonderful from where he started to where he ended up. But he took an active role in making sure that he was prepared for that test and for what the physical demands are. I want to, if I can, invite Manette.
Afternoon, everybody.
Yeah, there she is.
All right, so I'm going to go over what we see as the ideal successful candidate for our program. We understand that virtual is a new arena for everybody, so we kind of just have a little bit of a guide on what we hope referrals would have or participants would have moving forward, just to make sure everybody's on a level playing field and at least in the same arena of being able to function once we get into the virtual environment. So we look for a participant that's technology confident. With that, meaning you're able to navigate your email, you're able to log on to a Zoom link, you know how to mute yourself, share your screen at times, because we do have group activities that require sometimes participants to share with the class as well as the instructor. Distance learning capable, meaning you're able to work independently without being in a classroom setting, face-to-face with the teacher as well as with your peers. Time management discipline, pretty self-explanatory, but because we are a virtual program, there are components of our program where you will have to complete assignments outside of our regular training hours of 9 to 5. Fully committed to program participation is essential because we are such a compact program. We cram a lot of stuff in the weeks that we're together. We need someone who is really engaged and committed to the program to just weigh out our opportunity to be able to place you for employment once we get to the end of the program and graduation. Ability to work independently and within a group, that's pretty self-explanatory, but in a virtual world, it's kind of hard to work as a group in a virtual world if you're a person who is not really engaged, because then you'll miss the camaraderie that we try to build in the virtual setting that we don't have the ability to build in the classroom like we used to. Goal-oriented in the construction trades, we want someone who has an interest in construction. We are not necessarily saying someone who just needs a job right now and wants to take advantage of this opportunity is not an ideal candidate, but we want to make this a stepping stone for someone. We want this to be your foot in the door. Our program definitely leads to the different trades that were discussed, be it operating engineers, mechanical, electrical, plumbers, all that yields from us you having a solid foundation, which our program provides. That would be our ideal candidate. Someone who's also work ready. Work ready would be, has a social security card, has a driver's license, has updated resume, I'm sorry, preferably. And even if it's not updated, we can work with you to get that updated to be ready for employment opportunities as they come. They do happen in the class. It could happen in week 3, it could happen in week 6. It just depends on the person and what that opportunity is that's being presented to us as a team to select candidates for.
Right on. Manette, would you also kind of expand on a bit of what we do in terms of wraparound to get people prepared for particular trades like electrical and plumbing that we're partnered with 5 Keys?
So we do have a math construction support program that is part of our program for CTP. But what happens with the CERT program as far as the math is you're able to take your math level and be evaluated to see where you are. If you're someone who's at a math level, let's say you're at 7th grade, 2nd month in math, but in order to get into the electrical trade, you have to be 12th grade, 5th month. We can get you to that actual grade level with the math prep tool that we have built into our training program. It extends outside of CTP training, and it's a work at your own pace opportunity. So you can go through our program, do the regular construction training program, and after that, still have access to that math tool to get you to your level of where you're trying to get to within the trades. It also gives you an opportunity if, let's say, you're someone who doesn't have a high school diploma or a GED, you can also achieve that in our program consecutively while you're working through CTP. You can get math credits towards your GED or high school diploma while you work the training program as well.
Thank you. And I want to also indicate that one of with our program is it is something that has been a huge piece, and the statistics show that when you match financial literacy with training, with job opportunities, with the types of information that folks get in this workforce environment, in the training environment, individuals tend to not only save and budget better, but we now have graduates, and again, this is for CTP 9. This is the 9th cohort that we've done, and we started this program in September of 2016. It's 7 weeks. There is no cost to the participants. And what we have found is that people who have been part of our first 5 graduating classes are now coming back to do first-time home buyers types of workshops with us, and are coming back now because they've cleaned up their credit. They've done the things that they need to do to put them in the place. A lot of them have, purchased their first car. Aside from now looking at purchasing their first home. So part of what we're offering is not just a pre-apprenticeship program in construction. Part of it is also about making sure that we provide the tools necessary for participants and our vets to be successful even upon graduation and for a lifetime. Part of what we offer in terms of Class B instruction is because we see construction and we see transportation as having an overlap. And in places where you have water trucks, in dumps, you have street sweepers and others that are part of kind of the fabric of construction industry, those all require a Class B or higher license. So what we've also built in for those who might say, I'm not sure if I want to do the labor piece, but I am kind of interested in doing more of the heavy equipment or driving piece. I provide about 2 weeks worth of instructions, about 30 hours around Class B getting their permit. This is for them to take the written test so that they can get a Class B or a Class A permit. It's the same book and it's the same information. They have to pass a general knowledge and air brake in order to earn their permit. But what it also does is it increases their value coming out of the program, because now there's additional options aside from the laborers or a particular trade. One of the folks that we've had a lot of people be really interested in is getting into the operating engineers. So that's your crane operators, that's your heavy equipment operators and that. And I'm gonna throw it out here. What do you think one of the prerequisites for consideration with them is going to be? Anybody? Anybody?
Math.
Yes, that's part of it, but it requires a permit, a Class B permit at least, in order to do that. So we've been very thoughtful, not just because of the opportunities here on the island. One Treasure Island is a first source hiring entity here. We have been a part of the fabric since very early on. We are 25 years old. Our ties with TIDA and the city and county allow us an advantage in terms of placements that a lot of other organizations and a lot of other programs don't have. Our class sizes are typically between 15 to 20 a class, which allows us as a fairly small staff a lot of hands-on with our participants. One of the benefits that we've experienced in our previous cohorts with swords has been the ability to have those candidates come to us really ready in that ideal candidate state in order for them to fully participate. Some of our best participants have been folks that have been vets, that understood the opportunities and wanted to expand, what it is that they see as a career versus just a job.
And I think it also goes to just a testament to the referrals that we have received. Of the candidates that we've had for CTP 7, we had a 93% success rate in placement at graduation. We have one candidate in particular who started off initially as a laborer in May with a company, and he's now been promoted to supervisor as of, I believe, the week of Halloween. So it just shows that if you put the work into it, the success will definitely come out. They come back for resume services because they want us to update them with their new certs. They come back for financial services because now that they've got a paycheck, because we are partnered with 3 financial institutions for second chance banking opportunities, they're guaranteed a bank account when we refer them to any 3 of the institutions that we work with. 2 are credit unions, 1 is an actual bank, which is another benefit to our program, as well as our financial literacy itself, which is overall why we say we try to encompass and provide a resource to whatever the person may need, with the exception of housing right now. We are definitely trying to help people remove barriers to get to work. And part of that, we understand, is the opportunity to get into a field that you may not know how to actually access on your own, which is what our construction training program and the Class B program also provides.
I think, the one of the biggest advantages of the partnership with Swords has been the ability for Swords to provide its veteran participants a stipend during the time that they're in the program for the 7 weeks. We found that from surveying our graduates, especially our vet graduates, they found that to be an incredibly beneficial piece for them. We definitely take attendance. The courses that we do with NATEC, we have staff that audits those classes to make sure that everything's going according to plan and there's no disruptions, or in this case, there could be a Zoom failure or certain outages or things of that nature. And we're always there to support the class and the participants in that class. So it's been an exciting piece to have them there. It's great that there's a project for veterans, by veterans, that they can look at participating in. We just want to make sure that folks know about the program and are excited about the opportunities. And because there's very few times that you'll have to come to the island, widening that circle. I might also add, typically we work with island residents and island employers, and then San Francisco residents as a whole, and San Francisco employers. But because of the relationship with Swords, it's not limited to a Swords candidate or client that's in San Francisco. We've done away with that residency piece and allowing candidates from the East Bay or North Bay to also participate in this training opportunity, really, for them. So we like to cast a broad net and bring as many veterans into our upcoming class. And that's the last piece I was going to bring up is CTP9 is currently scheduled to begin in February of 2021, that first full week. So these last couple of days, really through about the 15th of December, are going to be, pretty critical in trying to do, further reach out. By the time we get back in January, we're going to start doing assessments and start putting together the class itself so that we can send out notifications a week out as to who got into the class, and we can start doing the computer loan program, which is also part of it. Instead of having someone have to buy something or rely on equipment, we provide the computers that they're going to use for the 7 weeks that they are here and participating in the program. I think all around the wraparound type of service and training is pretty unique. And we really are looking forward to participants from Swords for that.
And also remember that the Swords participants are able to keep their laptops upon graduation as another added incentive to participate.
Right on. Any questions?
Oh, we can't see them. If they do, hold on. Yeah, let's switch it. There we go. Okay. Anybody have any questions? Okay, everybody don't talk at once. Okay, why are they chatting this? Okay, wait, we got something.
So you, just to confirm, you guys do provide like the internship to help the clients find the job after they complete the training?
It's not an internship, but we do absolutely do placement activities with them. Like I said, our last classes in terms of placement, we're at 90, 93, 95%. Unless somebody, for whatever reason, doesn't want to work, we're going to put them to work. And like I said, the biggest signatory to this is the fact we are a first source hiring entity here on the island. The ideal would be a veteran candidate graduate program will have an opportunity on the Maceo Bay project by Swords to Plowshares. That's what we're here for. That's what we are doing that. We just want to make sure that we've got, the vets that are interested in putting that together. Vets are housing for vets.
And are the vets, are they registered with like the local unions, or they have to go through the union? Do they have to go through the union to once they start working? What
we would do is if there's not a specific, let's say one of the subcontractors that is a carpenter company, they are signatory to the carpenters union. If they want that particular candidate, they would make sure that they would say, hey, this is somebody we're bringing on board. We're going to sponsor them for the carpenters. We're going to do the following. Most of the way that folks get entree is they go through the laborers. A lot of these subcontractors and primes will bring on laborers onto their project, and they say, hey, are you interested in sticking around with our company? And you interested in these opportunities? And that's how a lot of individuals end up moving up in terms of particular contracting and construction companies. Or so the idea for us is not so much to dictate where you're going to go as much as here are the opportunities laid out. here are the companies looking to hire. Here is a specific project that's looking to bring vets on and hire vets to work on a project that's going to benefit vets in terms of housing. You couldn't
Okay.
ask for a better pathway. We just want to make sure we've got the soldiers to take advantage of it.
Okay.
And then there's also the added benefit that most, well, I would say a good portion, I don't want to say most, a good portion of the unions offer where they go from helmets to hard hats, which means a lot of the veterans, which means the veterans are not held to the same requirements as the general population. They do most often ask for some experience within the construction trades, which our program qualifies for. So you could be somebody off the street, walk into our class, and when the electrical exam opens up in July, you get preference as a veteran that somebody else who doesn't have our program and veteran status will not get. And so that's another piece of what Johnny said. One thing I want to emphasize is when somebody participates in our program, and you graduate, you have our services for life. Unless you change your phone number, don't call us back, don't show up for appointments. We're technically here to help you get placed for life once you go through our program. With that placement, we also give you options for skills up training because the union will notify us and say, hey, you certified Johnny Carter in June of 2019. His cert is going to expire in July of 2019. He needs to take a refresher. So at that point, we're going to reach out and say, hey, Johnny, we got noticed by the union that your certification is about to expire. Where are you at in your career goals? Are you still in the trades? Are you looking to take this skills up training to keep your certification active, which also gives another opportunity to reach out with the skills up training, but also help if job placement options are needed at that point. So
Excellent.
once you graduate, we don't just say, all right, you graduated, have a good day, bye. No, we work with people on a long-term basis as long as they're in the position to work with us. And I say in the position because we have had some graduates who said, you know what, I did this, I wasn't sure what it was, I tried it, and I want to do something different. No harm, no foul. We appreciate you being honest with us, and we help you support you in the direction you're trying to go to.
Yeah, I had a client that completed the program and he's working now. Like he did everything and he was
Okay.
happy with the program. Yeah.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Okay.
We spoke about him a couple times.
Yeah.
He actually texted me the other day, so that's just another testament to the relationships that we try to build with our participants. We don't look at them as participants. We say once you participate, you're part of the One Treasure Island family.
Yeah.
So with that, we stay in touch. We do reach outs. Our reach outs usually happen, if not every 30 days, sometimes they can happen sooner than maybe 2.5 weeks to 30 days. We're reaching out. How are you doing on the job? How are things going? You have any issues? What can we help you with as a mediator in the situation if there is one? Also with if there's somebody on the job and they're like, I need another cert, guys, where can I get this from? We're looking to figure out where can they get that cert the best price if there is a fee involved. Different barriers as far as, okay, I don't know how to get a new ID, I've got a new address, all that other stuff. We help with that as well, which I know you all do, but they've got two hands to go to in case somebody's not getting back to them fast enough. They can always come to us as well.
And I'll say a lot of the people that I've been able to place in the transportation industry and driving and getting their Class B, Class A license have been people who have chosen, I did this, I think I want to go the other route. Hey, can we revisit this Class B and the opportunities and the driving opportunities? United Site Services, their primary product are porta potties, fencing, power. But from the folks that I've been placed over there, a lot of them said, I wasn't sure about this, but they like the fact they get paid every Friday. They have more work than they have bodies to do it. So they earn sometimes double and triple time. I say to most folks, if you're a grinder and you want to work, I've got the perfect place for you. So yeah, we do treat our graduates and certainly our participants as family. I think that, with the rate of employment and placement that we have, like I said, I feel very strongly that this should be a great partnership especially over the next, I believe the Missio May project is, hold on,
17 months.
17 months.
Yeah.
You've got 17 months until it's scheduled to end. So we're looking at this being the first class for 2021. We'll have a second, but 17 months, that's, just a wee bit over a year. So yeah, we want to make sure that we take full advantage of the relationship and make sure that we get some vets on that project. Any other questions? Right on. Well, I think if you did not, in the chat section, I responded back to Mark, who said he had to go for another webinar, but I did put our email addresses in there, and I'm sure any of you can certainly reach out to Manette or myself or us both with follow-up questions. If you have candidates that want to know a little bit more in depth, please don't hesitate to send them directly to us. We are certainly looking forward to getting, any list of names and contacts. We are pretty good about getting back to people via email, whether email or text or whatever, within a 24-hour period, because we're really excited about the opportunity and want to bring as many people in as we can before the end of the year.
Thanks, Johnny. We really appreciate you and Manette taking the time today. So what I'm going to have Nicole do is share this presentation with the RSVPs who didn't show.
Okay.
Since we did have 12, so I'm hoping that at least if we share the presentation with them, it'll drive some interest. And then if we do have any referrals, again, I'll directly send them your way.
Okay.
But hopefully from this, we can get a few.
Right on. We look forward to it. Just so everybody knows, every Tuesday at 10, we do what we call a pre-selection workshop. The pre-selection workshop by our colleague, Miles Nelkin, is really to kind of talk a little bit more in depth about the what's expected. It's also a way for us to collect some of that worker documentation up front, the resume, social security and ID, driver's license, but it also allows us to talk directly with folks that are interested in it about, here's some things we want you to think about going forward, your work environment, where are you going to be doing your classes, how can you for them, and things of that nature. So I think that it's a good thing that we have this so that we can get a lot of that stuff out of the way. We do it every Tuesday at 10 a.m. In order to participate, you do have to get a link from our colleague. He sends that out, so that would require, at the very least, an email address and a way to reach out and contact that person. And then the last piece is that everybody who comes through us, we do onboard you to our services. Takes about 20 to 30 minutes. You watch an orientation, talks a little bit more in depth than what I did about our overall package of services and support. And once they've done that and e-sign a couple of things, they're in our system and we're underway. So pretty painless onboarding and process to get to the point of consideration. So we're looking forward to it.
Well, we would like
Thank
to,
you.
again, thank you and Manette for joining us today to do the presentation for the 1TI training.
Got it.
And we will stay in connection with one another and make sure that we serve the veterans as best as we possibly can. If there's any questions or if anyone is interested in signing up for or joining forces with the source of Plowshares in the 1TI training, you're welcome to reach out to us at jobsforvets@scp-sf.org, whether you're in the Oakland or San Francisco area within the East Bay. Feel free to reach out to us to get more information, and we'll be pairing you with an employment specialist so that we can further help the veterans with your needs. Okay, so thank everyone for joining and hope you have a good day.